Good morning, students. In last class, I have taken cell injury proper, definition and etiology of cell injury, different types of adaptations like hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, atrophy, and dysplasia, and mechanism and pathogenesis of the cell injury. And today I am telling about the morphology of the cell injury. In morphology of cell injury, in reversible cell injury, these are some changes that can occur: cellular swelling or vacuole formation, also known as hydropic changes, fatty changes, hyaline changes, and mucoid changes. The changes at this stage are better appreciated by the electron microscope. In this microphotograph, histopathological view, there are changes in the cells, that accumulation of the water in the cells. It is hydropic degeneration or hydropic changes. This is a gross picture of the liver showing fatty changes or fatty liver. You can see that pale yellow appearance of the cut surface of the liver, and borders are rounded. This is histopathology picture of the liver showing these are the fatty changes, fatty globules inside the cells. Another same picture, fatty changes in the liver cells, lipid accumulations seen in conditions alcoholism. This picture is showing pathogenesis of fatty liver, lipid metabolism. Now, irreversible cell injury. The changes are produced by the enzymatic digestion of dead cellular elements, degeneration of protein, and autolysis by the lysosomal enzyme. In cytoplasm, there will be increased eosinophilia, and in nucleus, due to breakdown of the DNA, there are some changes in the nucleus. What are these changes? Pycnosis, that is shrinkage of the nucleus. Nucleus will be dark and pycnotic. Other change is karyolysis, and third is karyorrhexis. Karyorrhexis is fragmentation of the nucleus. In chronic cell injury, there are some changes in the mitochondria. What are the changes? There will be increase in the number of mitochondria, or there are various morphological abnormalities in the mitochondria, and changes in the cytoskeleton, that is intracellular inclusions. Examples are Mallory bodies. These are the eosinophilic globular accumulations inside the cells. This is microphotograph of the liver, histological view of the liver showing globular eosinophilic accumulations. These are Mallory bodies, and seen in the alcoholism. Another cytoskeletal changes are, in this cytoskeletal filaments are grouped together. Here it is, elongated pink tangles known as neurofibrillary tangles and seen in Alzheimer's disease. Next is Levy bodies. These are eosinophilic intracellular accumulations surrounded by the halo. Okay, and these are the aggregates of the protein, abnormal protein. Cell death occurs in two ways. First is necrosis. Okay, the changes produced by the enzymatic digestion of the dead cellular elements. And apoptosis, it is a internally programmed series of events affected by the dedicated gene products, and it is a vital process, or also known as programmed cell death. Now, necrosis, there are 5 important types of the necrosis. These are coagulative necrosis, liquefactive necrosis, caseous necrosis, fat necrosis, and gangrenous necrosis. And what is the definition of the necrosis? We can define necrosis is as a localized area of death of tissue followed by degradation of the tissue by the hydrolytic enzymes liberated from the dead cells. And important thing is, it is invariably accompanied by the inflammatory reaction. And what are the various agents that causes necrosis are hypoxia, chemical and physical agent, microbial agent, and immunological injury. And the changes that occur in necrosis: cell digestion by the lytic enzymes. Okay, means at the cytoplasmic level there will be eosinophilic cytoplasm, and at the nucleus level there will be change in nucleus like pycnosis, karyolysis, and karyorrhexis. Now, first is coagulative necrosis, and it is typically seen in hypoxic environment, or the causative agent is hypoxia, decrease in the oxygen. In this, grossly the organ is firm. Okay, the necrotic area is in wedge shape. Okay, in microscopically the outline of the cell is maintained. Okay, the dead cells maintains the outline of the cells. This is also a picture of coagulative necrosis. Here you can appreciate the changes in the nucleus, pycnotic nucleus, pycnotic. Okay, and karyorrhexis, also karyolysis. Next is liquefactive necrosis. In this photograph you can see necrotic area in the brain. Okay, this is liquefactive necrosis. The area is soft or cystic. Grossly it is soft, and it is dead cells undergo disintegration and affected tissue is liquefied. Another photograph of the liquefactive necrosis showing clear area in a brain tissue. It was a patient of stroke. Next is caseous necrosis. Caseous necrosis is also a specific form of coagulative necrosis. Okay, and the causative organism is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. In this, the coagulative necrosis is cheese-like. Next is fat necrosis. In this fat necrosis, there will be enzymatic digestion of the fat, and there will be formation of the soap. Example is necrosis of the fat by the pancreatic enzyme. Next is gangrenous necrosis, and it is secondary to ischemia. Okay, and usually accompanied by the superimposed infection. Examples of gangrenous necrosis are necrosis in the distal limb, usually foot and toes in the diabetic patient. And this is a gross picture of the lung showing hilar lymph node with caseous necrosis, cheese-like necrosis. Histological view of histopathology of the caseous necrosis. You can see the necrotic area, caseous necrosis, and surrounded by the cellular reactions, inflammatory reaction. Again, fat necrosis. In this photograph, you can see that these white chalky areas that is formed by fat necrosis by the enzymatic digestion, pancreatic enzymes. Okay. Gangrenous necrosis. This is an example of gangrenous foot. Another types of necrosis are gumbatous necrosis seen in syphilis, hemorrhagic necrosis in the torsion of testis, and fibrinoid necrosis seen in autoimmune diseases. Now, what is programmed cell death? It is apoptosis, another is autophagic cell death, and non-lysosomal death. So, important in this is apoptosis. Apoptosis is a process that helps to eliminate unwanted cells by the internally programmed series of events, and it helps in several vital functions in the body, like during development of removal of the axis cells during embryogenesis. Another example is to maintain the cell population in the tissue. Okay, to eliminate immune cells after cytokine depletion, and to removal of the cells by the damage by the viruses, and elimination of the cells which are in which there is DNA damage, and there is hormone dependent involution of the endometrium, ovary, and breast, and last is cell death in tumors. In human body, there are around 1 lakh cells produced every second, and the same number of cells are removed from the body by the apoptosis. By the apoptosis, you can see the changes occur during development or morphogenesis, that is, during limb formation there is evolution of the separate digits, and there is removal of the unwanted organs like removal of the tadpole, and there will be development of the cells. What is the mechanism of the apoptosis? Apoptosis can be induced by various factors under both physiological and pathological conditions. It is an energy dependent cascade of molecular events which include protein cleavage by group of enzymes, also known as caspases, and protein cross-linking or DNA breakdown. Apoptosis is regulated by the family of genes, some of which are inhibitory, example is BCL2 gene family, and some are stimulatory, example is BAX gene family. Now, what is the mechanism of the apoptosis? It can be divided into two pathways, intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. Intrinsic pathway is also known as mitochondrial pathway, and extrinsic pathway is also known as death receptor pathway. Usually cell injury occurs when there is growth factor withdrawal or DNA damage by some injurious stimuli like radiation, toxins, free radical injury, or protein misfolding. So these are the stimuli that causes cell injury. Due to this, there will be activation of BCL2 family sensor. Okay, BCL2 family members are BAX gene and BAK gene. These are effectors of the BCL2 gene family. They causes activation of the mitochondrial enzymes, and it will lead to What it causes? Release of the cytochrome C and other pro-apoptotic protein from the mitochondria into the cytosol. Okay, that is leakage of the cytochrome C and other pro-apoptotic protein. These proteins and cytochrome C causes activation of the caspases. These are initiators of the caspases. Okay, these initiators of the caspases causes activation of the executioner caspases, and these executioner caspases causes activation of various enzymes, endonuclease activation and breakdown of the cytoskeleton, and these activation of the enzymes causes digestion and changes in the nuclei, that is genetic element DNA, causes DNA fragmentation, and these altered changes, altered structures, whatever it is, nuclear structures or cytoskeletal structures, are removed from the cell by the outpouching or membrane blebs, and these outpouched structures or membrane blebs are having ligands. These ligands are identified or recognized by the macrophages or phagocytes which have receptors. These receptors identify these ligands and attach with these ligands, and it causes phagocytosis of these membrane blebs. This is intrinsic pathway. In extrinsic pathway, the cells have some receptors, and these are the FAS receptors or tumor necrosis receptors. Okay, these are the receptors ligand. There will be receptor ligand interaction. If there is ligand attaches to these receptors, and there will be adapter proteins formation, and it also causes initiator caspases activation. Okay, and ultimately these initiator caspases which are activates executioner caspases, and similarly the ultimate pathway takes place of the apoptosis, and these apoptotic bodies are formed and these are engulfed by the macrophages. Now what occurs in intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway, we can see by this slide. In intrinsic pathway, in a viable cells, normally what happens, if there is survival signal like growth factor, if it is there will be production of the anti-apoptotic proteins which inhibits the apoptosis. The process of apoptosis is inhibited by the anti-apoptotic proteins BCL2. Okay, so there will be no leakage of the cytochrome C from the mitochondria if there is lack of survival signal, that is growth factor. Okay, or some factors, that is irritating factor, irradiation, radiation, or other factors, that is stimuli, injurious stimuli to the cells causes DNA damage and activation of the sensors. BH3 family proteins are formed, and it causes antagonism of the BCL2, which are protective. Antagonism of the BCL2 family. BCL2 proteins are protective from the apoptosis. So what will happen? There will be leakage of the cytochrome C from the mitochondria, and these cytochrome C are activation factors for the other proteins. Activation of the caspases. What are these other proteins? Caspases. Okay, due to antagonism of this BCL2, there will be leakage of the cytochrome C from the mitochondria and other proteins, and these cytochrome C and other protein causes activation of caspases, and it lead to apoptosis. And in what happens in extrinsic pathway, there are FAS ligands and receptors for the FAS receptors. When these attaches one another, in the that domain in the cell attached to this Fas ligand. Okay, Fas associated that domain is formed, and this Fas associated that domain activates the pro-caspase 8. In the body there are around 20 proteins known as caspases, in which in the pro-caspase 8 is activated by this Fas associated that domain, and this is autocatalytic caspase activation. Okay, by this activation, activated caspase 8 is formed, and it causes activation of executioner caspases, and ultimately what happens? Apoptosis takes place. Now here is the morphology of the apoptosis. There will be shrinkage of the cell size will be decreased in the apoptosis. And what are the nuclear changes? Condensation of the nuclear chromatin. Nuclear chromatin will be condensed, and there will be formation of the apoptotic bodies, as we have seen earlier. Okay, and there will be phagocytosis of these apoptotic bodies by the adjacent cells of the phagocytes. And what is important point is, unlike necrosis, the apoptosis is not accompanied by the inflammatory reaction. Now this table is showing the differences in the apoptosis and necrosis. In apoptosis there is programmed and coordinated cell death, but in necrosis, cell death along with the degeneration of the tissue by the hydrolytic enzymes. What are the causative agents for the apoptosis? Apoptosis can be caused by the physiologic or pathologic processes, but the necrosis is, what is the causative agent? Hypoxia, toxins and other injurious stimuli. But in what are the morphological changes that occurs in the apoptosis? In apoptosis there is no inflammatory reaction, death of the single cell occurs, there will be cell shrinkage, cytoplasmic blebs on the membrane are formed, and lately there will be apoptotic bodies, chromatin condensation, phagocytosis of the apoptotic bodies by the macrophages. But in necrosis there will be inflammatory reaction always present, death of the many adjacent cells. In apoptosis single cell death, but in necrosis death of the many adjacent cells, cell swelling initially and membrane disruption. There will be membrane disruption and damaged organelles. Nuclear disruption occurs and phagocytosis of cell debris by the macrophages. And what are the molecular changes in apoptosis? There will be lysosomes and other organelles will be intact. But in necrosis, there will be breakdown of the lysosomal membrane and liberation of the hydrolytic enzymes. In apoptosis, there will be genetic activations of the proto-oncogenes or oncosuppressor genes. And the caspase apoptosis occurs by the activation of the caspase pathway. Initiation of the apoptosis is by the intra and extra cellular stimuli. But the necrosis occurs cell death by the ATP depletion, membrane damage and the free radical injury. So this concludes the cell injury topic. There are some small topics are there, that is pigmentation and calcification, that you have to read from the book. Okay.